Hello, sweet friend. My name is Micah, and in this video, I would like to share with you the July Cat Collage Club Collage collection. I'm the illustrator behind Cat Collage Club, and every month I just like to show you what's included in this month's printables. So, I gotta ask the cliche question, but how is it July already? I do not understand. The cats are enjoying time in the garden this month, really nice. And they're, for one, having a barbecue, and it looks absolutely lovely, and I want to be invited. We have a cat bringing a salad, and then we have this lovely table set up with some baguette and chips and ketchup and lemonade. So lovely. And then here this cat is attending to the grill and the food on the grill. Really nice. I, as a German living in the US, feel like there's subtle differences as to what is considered quote-unquote standard or go-to barbecue food. Let me know what your favorite barbecue food is, both the things that you put on the grill as well as the fixings or the sides. I'm definitely a sides person. I love the sides. But that is why I prepared 2 plates for you. One that I consider a little bit more typical German. And it has a sausage, a bratwurst, on there with some potato salad. And then I prepared one plate that I consider a little bit more American, and that has a burger on there. I guess I could have added some potato chips on there too, but yeah, maybe it wouldn't have fit all too well. But then also in the garden, we have one cat, maybe this is the aunt, who is having a little snooze. She fell asleep reading. That is definitely autobiographical. I find reading outside in the sun so soothing that I often fall asleep. So there's that. You just want to be mindful of your skin when this kind of thing happens. We also have the kids enjoying a splash in the kiddie pool. I think they're looking like they're having a ton of fun. I think this kiddo here is just so adorable, this kitty. Yeah, I definitely have very good memories of playing in a kiddie pool. It always meant that it's definitely hot outside if we could play in a kiddie pool. So yeah, I think this turned out really fun. And what I have a thing for when you can use stickers to set up little scenes. I love doll houses, so that kind of makes sense. And so I did include a tree on this page so that you can have a little play with, sort of, for example, if there's a tree here and then the kiddie pool is right there, and then we have this little kiddo walking there, and then you have a really summery setup right here, and then you could journal underneath this, but you could also have the tree there and then the cat with the grill right there, and maybe auntie sleeping down there, you know, or if you're not having a barbecue but you have some time to chill outside, you could do something like this. And then there's a cat on the next page, which I'll show you. I designed a cat with a bike. You can also use the tree in conjunction with the cat with the bike. So lots of different ways to play around with that, and I do hope that you find that fun. I know that me liking doll houses doesn't necessarily mean that you like to set up entire scenes in your journal. That can take up a lot of space, I guess, too. But that's this top section, and then here we have a couple more things garden related. So here a cat is just snoozing, having a lovely soothing time. Yeah, I just find that picture very calming to look at. And then another cat reading outside on a blanket. I feel like every year I have a design like this with a cat sitting under a tree reading. I guess I just find that very summery and very soothing. And then with this one I played around with a little bit more of a limited color palette. I think sometimes that can be fun to play around with in journals, and you know, finding that sort of combination of colors that still feels alive in a way. And then also playing around with this sort of circle idea. Different shapes of stickers, you know. And then here this cat is caught in some summer rain or maybe a thunderstorm, and so it's quickly trying to get home. Super sweet. And then some lettering pieces to go along with these designs. So yeah, that is sheet number 1. Sheet number 2 also has some summery things going on. For one, we have some lovely summery outfits. As always, the cats are better dressed than I am, but I'm happy for them. This is always so much fun to look at different outfits and things that I find adorable but don't own or would never wear myself necessarily. Although all of these I think I would wear. But yeah, I love playing dress up with my cats. So there are those, and I always think these are nice decorations on days where you just want to decorate your page, but you don't really, you know, it doesn't have to be something about the day, that kind of thing. And then I also thought it might be nice to have some cats with some refreshing foods and drinks. So we have a cat eating melon. My husband and I love having melon during the summer. So lovely and juicy and yummy. And then some ice cream. And you might notice both with these and that, I am trying to incorporate kids every now and again. I feel like sometimes I forget that people have kids or can share time with the nieces and nephews or your friends' kids or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more mindful of that. So yeah, there's that, and we have an iced coffee, we have some iced water, and the cats are about to add some refreshing lemon to it. And then once I drew this, I was like, oh my goodness, you know, what would be the most cooling effect you could have is if you would be able to just lie on an ice cube. So there's that. And then with this one, these like steam lines, I put them far enough away from the cat, I feel like, that it is, if you don't want these, it's easy enough to just cut them off and not make them part of the design. So I leave that up to you, what you prefer there. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, I just wanted to have a cat riding on her bike, enjoying the scenery. Maybe she's joining the barbecue, maybe she's on the way. Yeah. So that is our second summary sheet for this month. And then I've been having a lot of fun with floral borders and floral doodles. If you haven't seen, when I unboxed my Benu Pixie pens, I did a little floral border. I don't have my journal here right now, otherwise I would show you. But then once I had drawn out some of these flowers, I was like, we need to have some cats with flowers. That would be so cute to have a play with. And so I came up with these. So we have lots of different flowers with cats and some flowers by themselves, so you can mix and match. And then I couldn't help myself, we also needed a little doggy. This doggy might also be my favorite, but can't tell the cats. The main idea with some of the ways these are designed or clustered together is that I feel like they sit very well in the corners of a page. Can you see? Like this. And then you can pair it with another flower. And I think that immediately just looks like a decorated page. I don't feel like you need to add necessarily a lot more to it. And now you can just write. So I think these are not only really, really fun, and I feel like flowers always go no matter what the season is. But in summer, sometimes, you know, people can get very, very busy. The kids are home from school and you have trips going on, laundry, all that kind of stuff. So this just makes for a really quick way to decorate pages. And so I hope that that is helpful for some of you. And of course, I also hope that you like the look of these. So a bunch of different ways to put these together. These are drawn with fountain pen. I used, if you're into inks, I used Tasha's Tsuchi for this. And I don't know how well this picks up on camera, but you can tell sometimes the ink pools in a way where it gets darker. And so you have a lot of variety in the way that the color looks in the outline. And I find that effect charming. I hope you find it charming too. I don't know, it just seems very alive that way. So yeah, and then I decided to pair it with some very soft colors to not overwhelm these mostly brown lines. And I did include some blue and purple colors in there. So if you are currently in fall and winter, then I hope that these will also appeal to you in your journaling. Yeah. I really, really like these. Let me know how you feel about these, how these print for you, how it is to cut them out for you. And for the folks who love using the cutting softwares with their cutting machines, so Cricut and Silhouette, I backed all of the shapes, but there's no sort of white outline around these. Let me know how the software deals with this, and if they're giving you trouble, then maybe I can set something up where there's a little bit more of a outline already indicated, like this, for example. So yeah, let me know. But I think if I may recommend something, I think these are wonderful on clear sticker paper. Easier to cut out, and then they just melt into the page. And with these soft colors and with the ink outline, I think that just looks lovely. But yeah, that's just a recommendation. But let me know how you fare with these. Yeah, I'd love to know. And then I know that sometimes people love it when I include just the line art, because then you can have fun coloring them yourself. And so I thought these made really fun things to color. And so I included the version with just the black outline for you to color and play with. And I mean, if you like the black line look, you can also just use these, of course, as stickers as they are. So yeah, that's that. Some fun coloring stuff. And then finally, I've had this on my list of requests for quite some time now, I feel like. And so I finally got around to making some workout cats. So I think these turned out so cute. I don't know what it is, but the cats in their gym outfits, I find that very cute. There's something very adorable with this. I included some just general, what I perceive to be something that a lot of people might do in a gym. So for example, a stationary bike and then a treadmill. And then this cat is just maybe going on a run outside. But then there's also some specific requests I've gotten. For example, weightlifting, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and yoga. With the jiu-jitsu, I left the belt blank because I assume that there is a significance, or I know that in certain martial arts, the color of the belt has a significance to it. So I wanted you to be able to color that in yourself. So there's that. And then in case your specific thing of working out isn't included here, I also wanted to have more general cats. So we have these two having a refreshing sip of water, and this cat is ready to go to the gym with their gym bag, or maybe is coming home from the gym. So that's what these three are for. This shape down here is a yoga mat. And so if you want to give these to a yoga mat, you can. And then again, some lettering pieces to go along with this. So yeah, I think these have turned out really, really cute, and I hope that a lot of you find something on here that reflects what you like to do in terms of sportsing. If not, let me know. For example, I couldn't fit the thing that I like to do, which is rebounding, so trampoline. So that might come in a future sheet. And then maybe we can just collect some other things if you have other things, and then we do a round 2 of sportsy cats. So yay, finally. And then we have the minis, and this sheet is like I usually do the minis, which is just to combine 2 sheets in one. So we have all the summary cats on one sheet and just a little smaller. But then for the gym cats and the flower cats, I didn't want to put them on one sheet because I felt like the usage of these 2 might be quite different. I consider florals as an evergreen anytime kind of decoration, and maybe I'm, alone in that. But I like to use flowers all year long. And so it seemed quite stark, the sort of like, but these are very specific, like outfit, workout cats with the sort of anytime floral cats, and so I decided to keep them separate to make that easier for those of you who like to print these in the minis. And so I just have the workout cats on here twice. So I felt like that was a good use of the space, and still have them be mini, and then have a bunch of the lettering on here. And then also with the floral cats, they're on here twice, except that this section right here, the cats are at 75%. And then these cats on, around here are the same, but in 60%. So they're even smaller. So you get 2 sizes on here. And so they get really itty bitty, but so cute. If you have a little planner or a little journal, these would be so cute to sprinkle throughout. So yeah, that was the thought behind those. And that is the July collection. I very much hope that you get a lot of use out of these. I feel slightly anxious. I don't know if anxious is the right word. I usually like to have very themed sheets mixed with a bunch of miscellaneous sheets, and I feel like we don't really have a lot of miscellaneous things this month, but I still hope that you get lots of use out of these, and that you have lots and lots of fun with those. And then in terms of the collage sheet library, so if you're new, when you sign up, you have access to the most recent 4 months of collections. And so that means that this month, April, this is the last month that you will have access to April in the collage sheet library. So if you haven't downloaded these yet, this would be a good time to do so, because by the end of the month I will archive these, and then they will move into the shop. Or some of this actually might move into the shop. The Easter stuff I might hold until next year's Easter before that is gonna be in the shop. So that is just something to keep in mind. If you haven't downloaded this, this is your chance to get these included with your monthly subscription. Yeah, I think that is it from me. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me, and as always, I'm super, super grateful that you're supporting Cat Collage Club, that you're here, that you are sharing with me the joy of having cats in your journals and planners. It's just the best. I love coming up with these designs for you, so thank you so much for being here. And then that means until next time, happy journaling.